So this is Group ERG. And they have come up with a model where there is sort of this interactive sort of feedback loop between research and education, which we really like. And they have sort of flows of different things going back and forth. This is interesting. Open communication going both ways, using open, so these different things that are sort of going both ways between these two realms. That's interesting. And they write that provide incentives both for teachers and for students to incorporate more open practices is important. That's a good solution. For students, make them mandatory to pass the course. So don't make them an add-on, but make them part of the course. That's an excellent suggestion. For teachers, we can put skills and development of teaching programs onto our CVs. We need to make these CV-able items so whoever did this understand what matters to us. Yeah. But there are these new requirements now, especially in Norway, when it comes to sort of having documenting your teaching skills better. And so I think that this is something that's actually really important to think about and really important to document in a good way. This goes both for employment, but also for appointment to professor and so on and so forth, that you need to have good teaching skills. And that's coming into the laws and regulations now. So doing this is something that is definitely both a CV-able and a promotion or a opprykkssøknad suitable. Yeah. Using open resources and databases, they write, is valuable in teaching by making students and teachers aware it is available. Yeah. So again, a collaborative thing, not just between students, but between students and teachers, like we talked about earlier today. Excellent, ERG. Let's see what the next one. Gaupe. So that's more of a carnivore take on things. So maybe predatory stuff will be more of a problem here. Let's see. Include open science thinking in the design of study programs, not just individual courses. Yes, that's also a very good point. You don't have to do everything in every course. We should divvy up a little bit so that you can learn things in order. Think about timing of introducing open science with undergraduate and graduate classes. Encouraging course alignment and also support staff when designing, integrating these concepts. Teaching metadata practices are important. These are crucial for reuse of data, including synthesis. And this is also sort of, one thing is to teach metadata, but another thing is like when you present these things, make people aware of what they are. Because usually we can present the sort of the IPES report summaries as the truth. But how did you actually emerge at that truth? And that is through sort of this beehive type of working together. Provide discussion workshops of ethics and theory of open science. The why of open science. That's also really good point. If we don't know why we should be doing it and what we benefit, both individually and as a society, of course, it's much less incentive to do it. Excellent. Grevling. Regular troubleshooting. Yeah, grevlings are a little bit sort of focused on problems, I think. So regular troubleshooting sessions with colleagues and peers. If you cannot dig your hole. Using GUIs to make technology simple. That's also something that we have been discussing in other groups, that the problem with the benefit of doing open science or using real data is that it's real and realistic, and the problem is that realistic data takes forever to get into a shape where you can actually do something with it. And so making shortcuts sometimes, and then be aware when you do it. And they also point to the curriculum. Let's see, next animal. Hjort, jerv, kongeørn. They're busy out there in the forest. Røyeulv, lundefugl. Yeah, exactly. And now we have, they live in big bird cliffs, and so they need to collaborate. And so, of course, common guidelines is really important. Sharing resources, the whole sea is there, but you need to share it across disciplines. That's also a really good point, actually, that there are so many things that are common across disciplines, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. Institutional incentives, time and money. Absolutely. If it becomes an add-on, it won't happen. Isbjørn, also incremental, just like climate change that are challenging them up there. Integrating open science principle in oral course contents. Every course should take some. Increasing knowledge and awareness on the PI level. Yes. Edderkopp. I'm from the Stone. Yeah, this was actually the notes from the first session. Yeah.
Do you want to summarize your groups?
Yes, I can just summarize our group. Sort of the main thing was that I'm from the Stone Ages, but except from that, no, we discussed. We also came up with a very similar wheel to the one that you. Maybe we have that here actually. Yeah, no, never mind. We came up with a very similar wheel to the first group, with this sort of research and education feeding into each other, and then thinking about all the different things that belong in there. But we made them as a beehive and not as a. Never mind. And we made them as a beehive and not as arrows. But that it's very much the same kind of things that ended up on our whiteboard. So yeah. So. So we had all these different things that we realized that they all belong both to education and to science, and there is this sort of spinning wheel where research feeds into education, which feeds back into research, and it's both the knowledge and skills and practices, and also actual data, like Aud's example was showing, where the students are generating data that can feed into research. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's had good discussions. We, of course, have material now that we can use to summarize. You also got a questionnaire yesterday, and I know that for some of you it crashed. And I think that for those of you for whom it crashed, you will be getting a new one. Or you will be getting a link or an email from Kristin, and you can reopen your survey and do it again. And that would be very helpful. And then there is another survey that you got last night, and then there's a third one coming out after the workshop as a whole. And there we'll also be asking you some questions about the whole Living Norway workshop. What worked, what didn't, what do you want less of, what do you want more of in the event that you actually want to participate next year, because we think there's going to be one next year. 2 times makes it a tradition, right? So yeah. So please also answer that one, and your email links the answers, which is why it's good that we have also the answers to the first one, because there we have some information about you, like where do you work and so on and so forth. And it's interesting to divvy up the answers a little bit according to that, which is why we're so concerned about the first one. Yeah. And then I want to thank all of you for your contributions and work. This is really interesting. We'll try to digest it and get back with something. This to everybody, and of course to our excellent presenters for what they contributed. That was really great. Any final comments, questions? If not, I think we can break for lunch. Thank you.